What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Salt Check Podcast. My name's Bryce, aka Brusta Blanca, and I'm here with
Caleb or War Monkey 75.
new set,
Let's
baby.
go.
So we recorded a pod not too long ago on the set, and the mics didn't work. So today we actually have two rankings. We have a quiz and maybe some in between stuff that I wrote down just in case, depending on how much time we have. But we're going to start with what was the main priority of last episode, which is Final Destination rankings. We just saw Bloodlines like now nearly, a week and a half ago at this point.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that real quick. Obviously, we know our rankings now, so it's not really going to be like nothing like that anymore. But, and then I got a quiz for Caleb. And then in between, if we have some time, I wrote down some other stuff we might be able to do. But the main goal of today is Mission Impossible ranking. We just went and saw the final reckoning. We got an IMAX poster. So, yeah, we'll do that. But first, we're going to do Final Destination rankings. So, and we probably won't go into too much depth with this just because
It's not the main focus.
yeah. Okay. So, my number 6. That caught on the mic. Maple's in the room. If you heard that, she went. I'm not even gonna try and make what noise she made. So number 6 with a 1.5 star. I have The Final Destination, and pretty much what I wrote with this was NASCAR beginning race, the butthole pool thing.
True.
I pretty much wrote deaths down to remind me which movie was what. The stray tire that demolished that one girl in the parking lot. Absurdly racist. And then I wrote down the ending was cool. Because I honestly didn't mind the ending with him like having to stop the bombing or whatever was happening in the movie theater. I didn't mind that part. But the first hour was just like, compared to the rest of them, was so bad. So,
Yeah, pretty unbearable.
yeah. What was your number 6? I can only imagine.
At number 6, I have The Final Destination or Final Destination 4 with a 2 out of 5. It's just easily the weakest. Like, I would like to see someone support this movie or give it good arguments because you just it's just not as good as the other ones.
I just don't think anyone likes this movie, to be honest.
It's like, it's weird to say that it's so different from the other ones, but it kind of is. It just feels out of place.
Yeah, I was gonna say it feels fan made almost. It just doesn't hold up to the other ones.
No.
So my number 5, which didn't know was a hot take till I was watching TikTok the past week. So yeah, feel free to flame me in the comments, I guess. With a 2, I could maybe push it to a 2.5. It might be at a 2.5. I have Final Destination 3. I wrote down the tanning bed scene, which is probably one of the best kills in the series, to be honest. It's just the music, everything just went wrong. It was pretty awesome. I didn't mind the like pictures. The picture concept was alright. The roller coaster is obviously iconic. And then obviously the like final like 10-minute subway scene is good too. So I felt like it was not as memorable as the other ones in front of it for me. So yeah.
Number 5, I have Final Destination 2 with a 3 out of 5. I was really mad that they killed Alex off camera because I was just looking forward to seeing him and Clear, who is in this movie, but then she was just like, nope, Alex is dead. And then you get a picture of him face down in like a sewage pipe, and you're like, okay,
Yep.
thanks. um, yeah, it's like the only returning character as well besides um Candyman,
Tony Todd.
Tony Todd.
I don't even know his name in the movie. I just know Tony Todd.
Yeah. Um I don't know. It just it's less memorable. I can remember the end with like the picnic.
She's licking my feet. Sorry. She's Maple, can you like get on the couch? Come here.
Maple.
Come on. Come on. Get up there. Oh, there's Maple. Nice. Okay. So something that I was whatever. 2.5 and number 4, I have Final Destination 2. Um yeah, clear coming back was cool. Um the reverse order of the log highway stuff was interesting. Obviously, the logs is super iconic for Final Destination now. And then the elevator scene was cool.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But yeah, Clear dying was very agitating, especially because the main character was so unlikable and she gaslit her into coming out and then she died. So fuck her and fuck this movie. So
At number 4, I have Final Destination 3 with a 3 out of 5. Um, I enjoyed the theme park gimmick, and we found out that Tony Todd was the voice of the roller coaster. That's pretty neat. His little cameo. I like the picture things. It like you kind of figured that's what it was gonna be after it was like, oh, we introduced all these characters and now we're taking pictures of them, and it's like, oh, this just makes sense that that is what it would be. Um, and yeah, the tanning bed kills were pretty brutal, but like they had it coming. They were literally going against all the rules, and
yeah, they were asking for it for
they
sure.
were. Aw, goodbye, Maple.
At number 3 with a 3 out of 5, I have Final Destination 5, which on a different day, if I were to rewatch him, could be 2. I actually really enjoyed this movie for the most part. I thought at the beginning I was kind of getting worried that was gonna be repetitive, just because I don't know, the bridge scene was kind of getting long and whatever. The characters didn't seem that interesting, but then they introduced killing someone for their time, which was interesting. I just literally wrote down entertaining. I thought it was one of the more entertaining ones. The gymnastics scene was pretty fucking crazy, just
Yeah.
because everything you thought that was gonna happen just didn't, and then she's whatever. Maple's being weird. Um, and then the ending scene was awesome because it just came back to the first one with Flight 180, and then the kill at the end was hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy that died, he was gonna die anyways because of brain tumor. He only had like 2 days left anyways, and then bangs right under the restaurant. Awesome. Yeah.
At number 3, I have Final Destination 5 with a 3 out of 5. Yeah, it has like one of the best endings out of the series. Just because they were like, oh yeah, we're going to France, oh we're going to Paris, and then we didn't put it together the entire
Yeah.
time until they're like, Flight 180 is taking off, and then we went, what?
Mm.
And then we saw Alex and friends, and we were like, oh no!
Yeah, that
And
was pretty sick.
yeah, just the way that it turned out to be a prequel the entire time, you're like, okay, this is pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, I
So,
agree. Number 2 with a 3, I have Final Destination 1. Obviously, Flight 180 is so super iconic now. Clear, Alex, great characters. I think my favorite sequence of the movie was just the teacher in the house fire. That whole thing was goofy and just set the series in the right direction right off the bat. And yeah, pretty solid. I don't know. Like I said, I think Final Destination 5 could could be number 2 as well, and Final Destination 1 could be number 3. I just think iconicity 1 is just a little bit better right now. So yeah.
At a number 2 with 3.5 out of 5, I have Final Destination 1. Yeah, this movie's super iconic. Flight 180, something that I'm always gonna remember, and I think it's really good because I was so new to the concept. Like after every single movie, I was like, oh, whatever. They draw a little blood. They have a premonition. Like I get what's gonna happen. So the fact that it was like still exposing us to like what the movies are all about. It's like, oh, this is still new. This concept like makes sense. Um, World's deadliest water. They just love finding their way to electrical sockets.
Yeah.
And some of it's pretty absurd, but yeah, no, it's a classic. Got great characters.
And then number 1 with a 3.5, I have Final Destination Bloodlines. And I don't honestly think this is like recency bias. I think it just genuinely is the most fun of all of them. Yeah, I wrote down funny. The prequel aspect's cool with it going back and forth. The whole like everyone from that like accident that were to like survive ended up dying at some point. All the characters were fun. Tony Todd's farewell was sad and kind of ominous, honestly, but he's awesome. He's a legend. The metal detector thing, the MRI, whatever it is, it was
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh my God.
And like I was saying, easily the funniest in the franchise. I was laughing out loud multiple times during this
Yes.
movie. So, yep.
Yep. At number 1 with a 4 out of 5, I have Final Destination Bloodlines. It was just the most like they developed the characters really well. The beginning sequence was very intriguing. You get Tony Todd's character's backstory a little bit too, and how the oh man, the mom of the family was like protecting him the entire time, but also protecting the family and just stuff like that.
Yeah,
It
that
was
was
just really
cool.
well done. All the kills were very, very fun.
Yeah, Iris
Iris.
protecting because he was the kid in the tower restaurant
Yep.
thing. So, yeah, that was
Yeah.
cool.
It just, I don't know, kept me interested. I wanted to keep knowing more. And then the ending.
Yeah, who knows if it's a premonition or not? Well, I guess we'll find out
Yep.
because the 7th one seems like it's almost a guarantee at this point.
So,
It's a very popular movie. So,
we'll see.
yep. I also saw, I can't remember which, it was either the girl main character or the brother main character from Bloodlines. It was like, do you recognize these actors from something else? And it showed what else they were in. And it was one of those two was like the daughter or son of the actor of Alex in a different movie, like Alex from the first movie.
Huh.
They're like in a TV show or something. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of funny.
That is funny.
But yeah, those are our Final Destination
Yep.
rankings.
Kind of
Sorry if
sped through that just
yeah,
because
sorry if we weren't super enthusiastic about it. Not super happy that we had to do that again. So
we already knew what we were going to say.
yeah,
So it's
that
kind of
too.
ruined. Oh well.
It was a first like ranking that was under like 8 things that we were ranking, and then it just didn't work out anyway. So yeah, kind of weird.
Oh well.
All right, well, next I have a little quiz for you.
That tiny one?
What?
A tiny little quiz?
Yeah. Um. So, your quiz today. I'm gonna give you like 20 attempts to tell me this.
Okay.
Name me the top 10 in lore strongest Pokemon from Generation 9.
In lore?
Like, just,
Like Pokédex?
yeah. It's the same quiz we've done before with other generations.
But all Gen 9?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, we got Koraidon.
That's number 2.
You got Miraidon.
Number 1.
That's all of them.
It's all Gen 9.
That is all of Gen 9. Okay. Now I don't remember if Dragapult's Gen 8 or Gen 9.
That's that's the funny part about this. You have to remember who's Gen 9 and who's not.
Um, yeah,
Boing.
it all just kind of blends together.
Yeah,
Um,
I was gonna do like Gen 2, but that'd be super easy.
oh God. So what if I say Dragapult?
Is that an actual guess?
Yeah.
That is not
So
in Gen
yeah,
9.
it's Gen 8. Um,
I know you got this. It's really not that hard for you to think. You got it.
um,
Yikes.
what is like Ting Lu up there?
It's number 7.
Uh, is Chi Yu up there?
Number 4.
Is Wo Xian up there?
Number 3.
Is Qian Pao up there?
Number 9.
Oh
You got
no.
4 left.
What is it? Like Iron Valiant?
Incorrect.
God, I imagine the other dogs won't be up there then. What about Iron Hands?
Incorrect.
Um, yeah, all the dogs might. Uh, God, is Raging Bolt up there?
Number 5.
Um, Gouging Fire?
Nope.
What? I don't remember Suicune's name at all.
I'm not gonna count it unless you say it.
Crashing Wake, I think.
That is not what it's called. I'm not gonna count it either though. It's close.
Shoot. I think Wake is right.
Yep.
Shoot.
Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is.
Raging Wake?
Nope. I'm not counting that either.
Charging Wake?
Nope.
Wake?
Close. You're halfway there.
Yeah. Stormy Wake?
Nope.
It's really not crashing?
Nope.
So we got Gouging, Raging. It probably starts with a C.
Nope.
Oh.
Starts with a W.
Walking?
Yep. And it's not right either. So.
What?
What
Walking Wake?
5. It is Walking Wake. It's not on the list though.
That's so stupid.
3, 4.
I think I have 2 left.
You have 8 guesses left. You have 20 guesses.
Or
There's 3 left on the list.
3 left on the list.
I'll give you a hint the closer you get to when you're not.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really remember what.
Start thinking the Pokemon cards.
Yeah. I said Iron Valiant already.
Yep.
So it's not the horses. Right? It's not the duders from Gen 5.
The what?
the horses, the Kobalion,
Those
Virizion.
are counted as horses? They don't
I
even
mean,
look like horses.
I don't know what else they are. Llamas. They're not dogs.
I'll look it up while you keep thinking.
Oh God. Well, it's not. It's not any of the Thunderous, Tornadus, Landorus. They didn't really get alternate forms for that. Um, Melmel's not Gen 9.
They're just literally called the Swords of Justice. There's
Oh,
no
the Swords of
animal.
Justice.
I don't remember them being called that, but
Um,
there's at least two more. Well, one obvious one on here.
um, trying to remember who you like catch in the game. Uh, what's what's it called? Roaring Moon.
Incorrect.
So Salamence isn't on there, which is crazy.
Give you a hint. The rest of the Pokemon are not past or future forms.
So like Skeledirge.
Nope.
So it's not the starters. Crazy work.
You got this. I believe in you. You just
Can't remember like any of the other legendaries you even go after. If there's any more. Um uh, I don't remember uh the uh the um uh
yeah, I agree.
the name for the thing I'm trying to talk about. It's when their base stats are like 600. Like the technical legendary.
Pseudo legendary.
Pseudo legendary. I don't remember who it is for this gen at all. But I bet they're on there.
It is indeed on there.
Yeah.
Do you want a big hint that might ruin the rest of it?
I guess.
You haven't named any DLC legendaries yet.
I haven't played the DLC, so I don't really remember what's on it.
You have Shrouded Fable.
Oh.
But you gotta guess. There's only one from Shrouded on here.
Monkey Dory.
Nope.
Ogie Dogie.
Correct. He's number 8.
Oh.
Alright, 2 left. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. You got 4 guesses left, and you got 2 left. I'll wait for the last guess to give you the pseudo legendary hint, because then you'll get it.
But it was only one from the DLC?
1 left from the DLC.
So, like, Petrurant?
Is that a guess?
Yeah.
Not Petrurant.
Pheasantipity?
Not Pheasantipity.
Yeesh. Calyrex was Gen 8.
Fucking Calyrex is not a real Pokemon to me. Because I did not play that gen, or that DLC.
I did.
Like, I'm convinced, like, Glastrier and Spectrier are more Pokemon than Calyrex, even though Calyrex rides them. Calyrex also looks fucking stupid. Fuck Calyrex.
A crazy rant, though.
You have this Pokemon on a mat.
Oh, Terapagos.
Correct. Last guess. It was on a Pokemon we saw earlier with a stamp.
Oh, Baxcalibur.
Correct. There you go.
Oh
Those are
my
the
god.
10.
What's my prize?
I will give you the prize next episode. I didn't grab it, so.
Oh, well, you could just say it's Red Hulk.
Oh yeah. Well, he guessed Marvel shit last time and got Red Hulk. So there. We'll call that even now. He's getting fucked by Godzilla.
He is.
Okay, let's do Mission Impossible. I'd argue, I've said this before on the pod. I think I said it was Spider-Man. I think this was the hardest one to rank, though, to be honest, in my opinion.
I'll tell you when it gets hard to rank.
Yeah, I'll tell you too.
Um, I'll go first on this one.
Yeah, go for it.
Um, Man, I'm hoping we share this at number 8. At number 8, I have Mission Impossible 2 with 2.5 out of 5. Um, I think it was the weakest because it was the least like Ethan. I feel like it was a weird side plot. Like he just went and just started smooching this girl. And like it's kind of what you would expect out of like where are we going next with the story. But I don't know. Literally like in the ending sequence, it was like every 5 minutes, more, more, more. They just kept pulling masks off. That happens so much in this movie.
Did they?
Yeah, there were so many.
Are you
Uh,
sure?
yeah,
This is the motorcycle one.
yeah.
I don't remember that, but anyways.
But still a good 2.5. And yeah, the motorcycle chase was pretty awesome though. That was definitely a redeemable quality. And this is the one where they went to the island, right? And then he pretended to be his sidekick, and then like he tricked him into shooting his knee.
Yeah.
Like that sequence was good too. But I just feel like it was the least like Ethan for this movie. So
With a 2.5 out of 5, I have Mission Impossible 2 as well.
hey,
Yeah, villain was kind of ass. Ambrose is whatever. Okay, anyways. Yeah, Naya was like, we watched these in order, obviously, and it was one of those things where it was like, oh, she's gonna be in the next one. No.
she just wasn't important.
Yeah, I mean, the whole like poison thing that she put in her arm was like, I guess that was smart, but
Yeah.
like, I don't know. The motorcycle chase was cool. When they started fighting on the motorcycle, it was kind of goofy as hell though, because they just start ramming into each other and shit. And then they like fist fought for like 15 minutes straight. It felt like damn near. Yeah, honestly, probably the best part of this was probably when he pretended to be the partner of Ambrose, and then Ambrose like shot the real person. That was pretty sick. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's just after watching all of them, especially like even when we first watched it, it felt different. Like it didn't feel like a part of the franchise really, which is weird because we only watched one. But it just doesn't feel like Mission Impossible compared to the rest of them. So,
Yeah.
yep, that's my number 8.
Makes sense. All right. That was terrifying.
You fucked with it though, I know it.
Yeah, I did. Anyways, at
Yeah,
number
thank y'all.
7. At number 7, I have Mission Impossible 3 with a 3 out of 5. Um, I get why it had to exist. Of course, we had to give Ethan a wife because Otherwise, he's practically unstoppable. You had to nerf him somehow. You had to give him someone that he really cared about. So we did that. I just feel like it was like a little predictable. Like you just knew she's gonna get captured, and they were just gonna have to like write off their relationship at some point. Because how would we get the other 5 movies after this? Like you can't just they can't just be kidnapping his wife every single time.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah. Besides being slightly predictable,
How did Mario happen?
still a very enjoyable movie.
So this might be a hot take. At number 7, this I can already tell you right now, this is when it starts getting. It's not as hard. I'll tell you when it gets really hard. This is already hard though, because this already is a 3.5 for me. Number 7, I have Mission Impossible 1. Um, the thing with this is it just obviously it's the first movie. Kind of have to start building up the franchise. You have to build up these characters, and within the first 15 minutes, all of them die. Like all the main characters die.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh, okay. Obviously, we all knew Ethan Hunt was going to be the main character. But it was like you get introduced to this IMF team, and then all of them fucking die, and um, it's still a lot of fun though. Like it's a 3.5, and it's my number 7. So
Yeah.
like, you get the debut of Luther, who's the goat. Um,
Woo.
the fucking guy that was holding the rope obviously ended up being a bad guy, but like he was so ass during that mission. um, obviously the him like lowering into the room is like one of the most iconic scenes in the entire franchise. Um, yeah, I mean it's just a fun movie. It's obviously this movie came out nearly like 30 years ago at this point, so it's still a fun movie to watch. It's just hard to compare with the newer ones because yeah, that's all I'm gonna really say about that. So yeah, it's my number 7.
All right.
Yeah,
And this
fix
is
your
where
fucking thing again. Sorry, you can keep going.
mm, this is where it got hard for me. After those two, I was like, yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do after this. Like, that's how I felt ranking the rest of
Yeah.
it. Went, um, number 6 with a already 4 out of 5. I have Mission Impossible 4, Ghost Protocol. We get introduced to Jeremy Renner. We get introduced to. Oh, this is the one with all the sand. And when he climbed the building.
Yep.
Like I said, already a 4. Um, this is like. This is where the missions start getting like. I'm so curious to see how they do it at this point. Um,
Well, I mean, this is the first one where we start really going into the nuclear bomb territory.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, like I don't know. I feel like I want to watch all the movies again and then take like detailed notes to really feel like this ranking is complete because a lot of them just kind of mesh together because I'm like, oh, because it is like almost one continuous story until they hit you with like the 2 years later stuff like that. But
Yeah, and if you don't count the second one,
yeah.
that was just a side quest, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Um, but no, I still thought this movie was great. The chase in the dust storm was like, come on, just get him. The climb up the side of the tower was like, and then finagling both of the people with your like, oh, that was great. You fooled both of them and then didn't fool them. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a great sequence. So I'm probably skipping over other major things from that movie.
Yeah, I was kind of
So
I did the same thing I did for Final Destination. I just wrote highlights on my thing, so I was like, I know I'm gonna forget something otherwise.
yeah.
Okay, number 6. Uh, with a 3.5, I have Mission Impossible 3. This is Benji's big debut, who ended up becoming a very large part of this franchise
Hmm.
afterwards, and he's awesome, obviously. Um, so this was initially number 7 below Mission Impossible 1, but um I like really thought about it and I was like, Philip Seymour Hoffman, the villain, is diabolical as fuck, and I cared so much more about this villain than the first one. First one was just like tons of twists and turns. Like the old guy ended up being the bad guy.
Yeah.
He ended
Yeah.
up being the mole. This one was just like, this guy's a fucking like, he's actually just a son of a bitch. Like
Yeah.
he is actually such a shitty person. And it's like he's just did so good at getting under Ethan's skin. It was like because he pushed him, nearly dropped him out of the fucking plane. He was like holding
Hmm.
him up like this, and he's like, "If I ever get you, I'm gonna get your girlfriend, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of you in
And
front of
then
her."
Luther absolutely blundered when he's
Yeah,
like,
Luther.
Ethan, don't.
Yeah, because he
Ethan.
didn't know Ethan's name until
Yeah.
Luther. Yep. To be fair, Ethan was crashing out, so kind of was on both of them a little bit. But um yeah, the whole rabbit's foot thing was because you like the movie starts with him going, "Where's the rabbit's foot?" And Ethan's like, "I don't know." So it just ended up being a whole gaslighting
Yeah.
situation. Um which actually plays into the most recent movie, which was kind of interesting at least. We'll get to that. Yeah, Owen Darien is just such a. I think he's one of the villains that just stuck out the most out of the entire franchise to me. He's just actually like he just didn't give a fuck. He just would do anything to like,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah. To be honest, this is as much fun as the first three are. I obviously I think anyone's ranking of this could be right. Obviously, as long as you have Mission Impossible 2 at the bottom, I think any
Yeah.
ranking of this series could be right. For me at least, I think the first 3 were like the easiest to put at the bottom, and I think that's just because of the times. Like times have changed. Uh Tom Cruise is just doing more batshit crazy every single
Yeah.
movie, so it's kind of
Yeah.
hard to compare him after a while. But the first 3 are a lot of fun, just because they're like literally Mission Impossible 1 and 3 are 3.5 star fucking movies, and the second one is still fun. So it's like it's hard to put them at the bottom, but it's just hard to compare them with the other ones for me. So yeah,
At number 5, with a 4 out of 5, I have Mission Impossible 1. Um, what did I have here? Fun story, great twists and turns. W. Luther, Rip Team. um, yeah, like after the team dies and it's like just him and the director's wife, it's like, damn,
yeah,
like actually, what do they do now?
pretty much.
And then he was like, abort. And then the guy was like, I'm gonna meet you myself. And you're like, big hoss meeting? And then he blows up the thing, and it's like, ah, this is alright. Like I was so invested. We got so deep into the the shit. I don't know. We were so deep into it already, and you're like, oh, this is not what I expected at all.
Yeah,
The mission was going so well, and then
yeah. Then the guy got squished in the elevator, and it was
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah,
okay,
you're like, oh, I didn't know it was this kind of mission.
yeah,
So, no, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I, yeah,
fair enough. Yeah, so this is when it gets really fucking hard for me. I think everything after number 3 is, I mean, they're all great movies in their own way, but everything after this is 4 and above for me. So don't hate me. This is just how I feel right now. Literally in 2 months from now, this could all swap. Literally, as I was writing this down, it's everything was swapping. So it's like, don't hate me. These are all fun fucking movies. So, with that being said, and then my number five with a 4 out of 5, I have Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning or Mission Impossible 8. So, obviously, I think this was the biggest, like, if Ethan failed, like, the world is actually getting fucking
Yeah.
destroyed.
Yeah.
Um, the Entity is a interesting villain because it really doesn't have any rules it can play by. It is literally just AI.
Very
Um,
applicable to today.
yeah. Gabriel. I'll get more into Gabriel when I get to uh
7.
Dead Reckoning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I think he was more involved in the seventh one. He was a part of the big final stretch of this one, but I think he did more in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, spoilers for this are you should already know that for our rankings though. We're gonna spoil shit. Luther dying at the beginning sucked.
It did
I
suck.
was not very happy about that. I
Yeah.
don't I get they're getting old and real like in their Mission Possible time or whatever anyways, but like I feel like this Luther like being sick out of nowhere thing was kind of weird. Obviously you kind of I feel like it's kind of crazy. Obviously I'll get into what Gabriel does in the seventh one when I get to the seventh one. But you like right off the bat after 7, you already hate Gabriel a lot. But I
Yeah.
feel like I feel like they almost needed to do this because I don't know. I feel like Gabriel's always been killing people Ethan loves, and I just yeah, that whole thing. I think it made up for it at the end with the little like message from Luther when he completed
Yeah.
it.
Oh
It
my
made up
god.
for it. But yeah, this one's a lot of fun. I think the first hour is once you can get through that, it's kind of a long stretch of a lot of talking, a lot of like backstory, which is all necessary, I think, for the most part. I think most of it was like this needs to be in this movie, but at the same time, it was so much just exposition, like President, can we trust Ethan? Can we not? Like, hey Maple, welcome back. Um,
Hey.
but like once we get Ethan, like once Ethan jumps out of the plane, shit starts getting kind of crazy when he jumps into the water.
Yep.
That whole sequence of getting the coordinates to them was fun, and that the little like cabin house and sending the like complete opposite coordinates just in case the Russians were listening was genius.
Yep.
You really it's really cool that the guy from the first movie comes back for this
Yep.
one
They bring him
because I didn't
back.
even recognize him until they mentioned that he was the worker in that. Like I'm sure other people did because people are
Yeah.
just better at recognizing people, but I was like, oh, that makes so much
Yeah.
more
You're like,
goddamn
is
sense.
it? Oh my god! It is the same guy.
Yeah, and they're wholesome. That couple's
Yep.
wholesome, and the whole like it's literally 25 minutes straight of just Ethan underwater. Like it's awesome. Like that whole thing, the chase at the end was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Them having to like get the bomb to not totally destroy that area, but like just do enough so they can get out of there was crazy. I was really worried Benji was gonna die. I would have had a problem with that, to be honest. I get this is probably the last movie. I mean, they didn't really end off like it could have been. Like
Yeah.
it was like a oh, like Ethan has the entity. That's kind of it. It probably should be the last one. I don't really know where you go from here,
Yeah.
unless I feel like going to space. I'm sure Tom Cruise would do that, but
Yep.
I was just thinking. I think when we got to like Ghost Protocol, I was like, I don't think it happens because I haven't watched any of these besides like maybe the first one a long time ago. I was like, I doubt it happens, but I feel like the only step they can go from now is like space, and I don't know if
They don't need to
they
do
don't need to,
that.
but yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could yap about this for a while. It's still a lot of fun. It's I think the whole plane sequence with Gabriel was sick. Just Ethan like hanging on for goddamn dear
Yeah,
life
oh
on
my
these planes
god.
was sick. You start to really like enjoy the not um not Jim Phelps' son that's like chasing him, which was also a cool thing. The mole from the first movie's son was
Oh,
chasing
yep,
Ethan,
yep.
but his partner ended up helping them this movie, which was kind of cool. Mantis' character was great. I think she was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's really hard. It's the bottom half of my ranking, but it's 4 out of 5. Like I like this movie. I just
Yeah.
it's tough. I think like I said, I think all the exposition at the beginning was necessary. I just think it's kind of a slog to get through at times. But once you get into it, I think it's a lot of fun. And I think it's a good explanation point to end the series on. So, yeah.
At number 4, I have Mission Impossible 8, or The Final Reckoning, with 4 out of 5. Pretty much in the same boat. Um, I liked how they literally like tied in a bunch of loose ends, like the rabbit's foot. We
Yep.
finally figured out what that was. We saw the guy from the first movie. That was awesome. They tied in the director's son. It's like all these like loose ends that we didn't need, but it was like a lot of quality of life tie-ins. Like, oh, that's awesome, and oh, that's super cool.
Think of all the ones you mentioned, the one that needed to kind of be like tied was like Jim Phelps' son being like the one chasing him from Seven. Because like we obviously know that Ethan's going kind of rogue on IMF in Seven, and these people are like chasing him, but like um Briggs' like partner, I'm forgetting his name, but like he was like, Ethan could be like right, like he could be doing the right thing,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
Briggs was like, no, we're gonna chase him anyways. So it's like, oh, like what happened there? Before, I don't know. I didn't honestly know what was going on with that before, but that's kind of it was a cool tie-in. So yeah. Anyways, you can keep going.
Yeah. And then uh the whole you felt the whole theater give like a after Gabriel like broke his arm and then
Oh
ah
yeah, that Gabriel's
ah
death was awesome too.
and just like you could see it just
Yeah.
flapping and then he had to hold on with one arm and then he just
Yeah, it's like I'm the only one with the parachute, and then he just slapped his face in the plane and died. It
yep
was like so nice. It was like
yep
thank fucking
yep
God.
it was so satisfying.
So despicable.
Yep. um yeah, I just feel like it's kind of a Infinity War Endgame situation. I feel like the build up was better than the final result. Like the final
That's
result was
that,
gonna be good.
that's a pretty good comparison, I think. Because obviously we both have 7 higher than 8,
Yep.
and I think everyone thinks Infinity War is better than Endgame for the most part. Obviously, Endgame, this has a lot of high, very high, like best in the series
Yes.
moments,
Yes.
like the planes, like the submarine, Ethan underwater for 20 minutes straight, dead silence in the theater, unless you have a fucking squeaking chair in your theater. Bullshit. If you squeak your chair in the theater, go fuck yourself.
Let's
That
be
was
more self-aware, please.
easily the most frustrating thing everywhere. I'm locked in this movie, and this guy in our IMAX theater's going, "Hint, hint, hint," in the fuck. I just okay. We don't need to do that, miss.
Oh, she farted. It smells terrible. Oh.
Okay. Anyways, do you have
Oh.
anything else to say about 4? I think it's coming over here a little bit. She said,
Um,
"Yeah, you like that."
it's just it did things that we already kind of knew were gonna happen. Like we knew he's gonna go to the submarine. We knew, like they road mapped it in the first one, and they're just like, yeah, okay. So
Yeah, it's just it's cool like you were saying that there's so many loose ends tied that didn't necessarily need to be tied, but they were. Um, yeah, good stuff.
it was.
I was kind of worried. Like, obviously, I don't know. I'll talk about it at the end. Okay, my number four with a four. I could go 4.5 on a good day with this movie. Probably on rewatch. I have Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, or the fourth one. I think this is just so much fun. Obviously, like I was saying, I really do like the original trilogy, but I think this is when shit really started stepping up for this franchise. Um, the entire Burj Khalifa tower sequence of him climbing it, and then them both impersonating people at the same time was just so fun. Like it was so good. You get Brant or Jeremy Renner's
Jeremy
character,
Renner.
and you kind of like. I think the ending of him like explaining to Ethan that he was a part of the protecting his wife thing and it didn't work out, and the wife being alive and them kind of like shaking hands and like him being on the mission was awesome too. That was really fun. This is Benji's first time really in the field too, which was a good time because he was just kind of the chairman in the third one, kind of like giving information from the IMF like headquarters. Um, the one-off girl was fun. I don't know why she was just a one-off, but
Yeah,
eh. I feel like she was only included to have beef with the other like girl. She's sniffing it too. I feel like she only was included to have beef with like the girl that brought like the diamonds for the mission codes, cuz she was like, I'm gonna kill her, and Ethan's like, you can't kill her, and then she kicked her out of the fucking
whoops.
Burj Khalifa fucking window. So
Yeah.
um yeah, and like I was saying, this is like really when we started first dipping into like nuclear war territory of like stealing stuff. Like they openly had to give the real like bomb codes to like copy the other ones, and like it was just a lot of fun. This was like initially like top 3, and then I was like, I feel like I just need to rewatch it. I don't know, something about this movie, like I just want to rewatch. I want to rewatch all of them obviously, but
Yeah.
it's just, yeah, it's tough. So yeah, it's a lot of fun though, and I kind of wish Jeremy Renner's character was in 7 and 8. I don't really know what happened there. Probably some money thing where they didn't reach a deal or something. I mean, I don't really know where he would have fit in
Yeah.
the last two movies, but like it was kind of a weird ending for him. So yeah, we'll get into that in the fifth one though. It's not
All
like he
right.
died in the movie. He just literally just didn't
Yeah,
come
he's just
back.
gone. At number three, I have Mission Impossible 7 with a 4 out of 5. Um, we get, what did I write here? Um, L Grace, kind of annoying, kept running away. Um, W train sequence, rip Ilsa. Um, yeah, like the first thing I think about is the like entire train sequence. Like, it's just the way they did it was great. They went on, like, impersonated the, what's her name, like the White Fox, uh,
White Widow.
White Widow,
Can't remember her real name, but
uh, Kirby.
Vanessa Kirby. I just don't remember her actual name in
Oh
the
yeah, her
movie.
character, yeah. Impersonate her, kick the shit out of Mantis, but Gabriel did it. And like it was just, oh my god, everything just
Don't
happened.
ask this guy to explain the movie.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'd give it to you in like bits, but in like different orders. It'd be a completely different movie if I explained it. Um, but we learn about Gabriel, and it was like one of the first times where they take someone from Ethan's past and they
Yeah.
get into something they
Before
had.
even Mission Impossible 1.
Yeah.
When they first show the flashback, I was like, is this someone from the first movie? I just don't fucking remember. And then it's like, definitely not. That was definitely before the first one because he was already in the IMF during the first movie. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's, yeah, I'll get to it when I'm talking about it. But yeah.
They do something that a ton of movies do, but they hadn't done yet, which was go into the main character's past, like who was Ethan before the IMF, and we didn't really know. We never found out.
Mm,
And it was just that he was framed, and the IMF got him out, and the rest was history. Yeah, and we find out the enemy is an entity, like it's just an AI, super advanced. It keeps learning, which is very applicable to today. So it's like, oh, this is not a possibility. It's like a very over exaggerated one, but it's still applicable. So it's still a little frightening, and it's like always hits closer to home when it's like that. Um, but yeah, this is a great movie. When Gabriel was like, one of them's gonna die, I'm like, hoping it's Grace. It's not gonna be
I was gonna
Grace.
say,
There's no
I
way
hope
it
it's
was
neither,
Grace.
but Grace is definitely not fucking dying.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's,
like they
yeah,
just gave her like 2 hours of character building. I mean,
yeah,
Ilsa's had like 3 movies at that point, but like,
yeah.
well, this being the third one, but I was like, nah, they're gonna do it to her. Yeah, so that was pretty heartbreaking, but
Yeah, my number three with a 4.5, I have Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation, the fifth one. Um, this introduces like one of my favorite characters, Ilsa. I think she's just so much fun. Um, I think the whole sequence of like the opera is super fun because like they're trying to kill I can't remember what country, but they're uh,
senator type,
the
uh,
prime minister.
prime
I just
minister,
can't remember
yes.
what country it was.
Yeah,
Um, they they find out they're trying to kill these prime ministers pretty much, and Ethan's in there to save him. Ilsa's in there to like just nick him and like not kill him, but it looks like Ilsa's in there to kill him. And then there's
yeah,
another guy in there to try and actually kill him. But in reality, he was just there to kill Ilsa. If Ilsa didn't kill the prime
yeah,
minister, it was like, oh my god. But like, it was just so fun. They're all like, I think this is also like Benji wasn't supposed to be there because Alec Baldwin's character was like, nope, we're shutting you guys down,
yep.
and Brant was like, God damn it.
Yeah, he's like, I'll try.
um so yeah, Benji was kind of rogue. Um and yeah, I mean this was just awesome. I think the whole sequence of like the director of the CIA, like he ended up being a bad guy, but nobody really knew. And then Ethan pretended to be him in front of Alec Baldwin's
Yep,
character, got him to pretty much, or like got the prime minister to truth serum, like admit like all the stuff that was going on, like the syndicate stuff that was going
yeah,
on. And it was like, fuck yeah, because Alec Baldwin was being a bitch the entire goddamn movie, trying to frame
yep,
Ethan Hunt for this whole syndicate and everything else that was going on. And then he joined the IMF, which was fun. Brant obviously had to stay with Alec Baldwin the whole time, pretty much, but he was helping Ethan from the side.
yep.
Um, the final part where Benji's strapped up, and I'm forgetting villain's name.
Lane.
Yeah, Lane. I think Lane is probably the best villain in Mission Possible, to be honest.
Yep.
It does help that he's a reoccurring character in 2 movies, obviously. Gabriel is too. I think Lane just
I
he's
think
more
Lane is
diabolical
just,
than
oh my
Gabriel.
god.
But yeah, no, the whole trapping him in the box, pretty much exactly how the opening scene went, was awesome, and him just kicking him into the truck was so goddamn
Yeah.
funny. Um, but yeah, I just remember when he impersonated the like director, CIA like bad guy. We both just looked at each other and went, "What the fuck just
Yeah.
happened?"
Yep.
Yeah, it was genuinely awesome, and it's tough putting it at 3, but it's also a 4.5 out of 5 for me. So it's just like these movies are just awesome. So it's hard, but yeah.
Yep. Um, Number two with a 4.5 out of 5. I have Mission Impossible 5, Rogue Nation. Uh, I agree with everything you just said. Um, Also the opening sequence where like Ethan was captured and then he gets the like they're gonna beat him up and stuff, and then
Oh
Ilsa
yeah, and then
lets him
Elsa
go,
helps. Yeah.
and then you see her like I think Ilsa was easily like spy number two. She's the only one that could like really compete with Ethan throughout the rest of the movie she was in.
Which is annoying. She never joined IMF. She was just always
Yeah.
in deep shit at all times.
Yeah. That was annoying. It was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just the British got me. It's like
Yeah.
you. Meh.
Yeah.
Um, no, I was just she was so cool. Lane, yeah, I think he was the best actor as a villain as well, because oh my god, I just wanted him to get taken down so bad. Um,
I think he was more despicable in this one. And in the sixth
yeah,
one, he was just kind of like,
he's like,
he knows he's gonna die. He's just like, he still wants his plan to go through pretty much.
yeah. Um, no, it's a great movie. You're always rooting for them, preying on the other's downfall and everything.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. My number 2 with a 4.5, I have Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, seventh one. I just, I just think this movie cooks for like a nearly 3-hour movie. Like it obviously need to be 2 parts because like there's no way you're fitting this fucking half into it.
yeah,
But like it just for I think it's like in that time period it's the longest one. Like I think this is the newest one is the longest one now. Like that one like took the cake by like 30 minutes probably. But just everything moves so well. It's
yep.
like the beginning's a little like weird because they like play it off like Ilsa's dead, and you don't know that. Like you think she's actually dead,
Mm-hmm.
then you find out she's not, and um, then start like stuff starts picking up once you um, one sec, hello,
Hello.
okay, I thought I heard an echo for a second. I was like, what the fuck? Um, Stuff gets like crazy once he gasses that room pretty much,
Dude, that
and
was a great sequence too.
because you like the guy walking in's acting kind of weird, but like
Yeah,
I didn't. I feel like also the trailer kind of spoiled us for the newest
that
movie.
too.
But if I didn't see that, I probably wouldn't have known that was Ethan until he took off the mask. Um, but you're introduced to the new like head of IMF. I'm forgetting his Kittredge.
Kittredge.
Um, and then it goes to the airport, and the whole airport chase is fun as fuck because you're
Mm-hmm.
following Grace around, and you meet Grace, and she's a pickpocketer, and she took like a fake key, and she needs to return it. But then Briggs and his partner is also chasing Ethan along with like 10 other people, and
Yep.
the face recognition thing is like not working, and it keeps showing him the wrong person, and then fucking Gabriel's in there, but he's
Gabriel's
not
there.
really there. The
Yep.
the entity is like taking him off, like wiping his like memory pretty much, and they end up having to. Then they have to detonate the bomb that wasn't a bomb that
Yeah.
Gabriel put there
Yep.
to distract Benji and Luther, and then that goes pretty much directly to the car sequence in Venice, or I don't remember where it is actually. I don't think it was Venice. I'm forgetting where it was now. They're in so many
God.
different places
They
during this,
are.
but goes to the car sequence. Ethan's the fake lawyer. They have to escape. And then they get into the little shitter car that's like not working too well.
Yeah.
And then you really meet Mantis's character, and she's got this whole armored truck that's just running through shit.
Yeah.
And Briggs's group is still there chasing them as
Yeah.
well. They're
Mantis.
yeah, full on like Delfina Square chasing each other. It was awesome.
And like she's laughing too. It cuts
Yeah,
to her, and she's like, "Oh, that's just her."
yeah,
Like
she's the
I've seen Mantis do
diabolical.
the same
Yeah.
thing. I was like, "Oh."
Um,
Ugh.
and then of course Grace fucking runs because that's all she did this goddamn movie.
Yeah.
Ethan almost died to the train. Um, and then it kind of slows down a bit, but then I think one of the best sequences in the entire franchise is the like midnight party where they're all of them are just there and they're just talking. Like the White Widow shows up again and she's like, I'm gonna sell this half of the key, and Ethan has to explain his case. Gabriel has to explain his
Yeah.
case. Gabriel's like, one of you two are gonna die between Ilsa and Grace. And then that chase happens, which was also super fun. And then Briggs, of course, is also there. um, I also just really enjoy White Widow. I think she's a really fun side character,
Yeah.
and her
Yeah.
brother's cool too. Um, and then obviously the entity took over Ethan's earpiece, leading him somewhere different. I think that led to one of like the most brutal fight scenes in the entire thing, where he's just slamming him against the concrete wall.
Yeah.
And
Saves
yeah,
Mantis.
Mantis' life gets spared, which obviously made Gabriel turn on her later. And then that leads to the train, and dude, it's for a two and a like nearly 3 hour movie, it grooves. There's so much good stuff. And it's like obviously this like the eighth one's super fun, and I think it has some really high highs. I just part one I think just does so much for like the runtime and sets up the second one great too because Ethan has the key. Like
Yeah.
Gabriel didn't even end up with the key at the end. Just kind of he's kind of got to figure out what happens next
Yep.
later. Like it gives you a proper ending to a movie, but obviously it's a part one. So yeah, and then we both have the same number one. But we'll
Wow.
just say it.
Alrighty. At number one, I have Mission Impossible 6 or Mission Impossible Fallout with a 4.5 out of 5.
It's been really tough to figure out what I'm gonna give this. I think I'm gonna give it a five though. Mission Impossible Fallout is honestly one of the best action movies I've ever seen in
Oh
my
my
entire
god,
life.
it's
Like this
so
movie
good.
is so much goddamn fun. It was the only movie not on a fucking streaming platform when we watched it too. It was so bullshit.
Unbelievable.
Um Henry Cavill is so fucking good in this
Yeah, he
movie.
is.
Like the introduction to what's her name?
The
The
president.
president. She was the CIA
Yeah, head of
or
the CIA
yeah,
in this movie.
Angela Bassett
Yes.
introduces Henry Cavill's character. I'm forgetting his actual name, but he is awesome in this movie. Because he's just kind of like you think know something's up with him the whole time, and he like joins
Walker.
yeah he joins Ethan and the gang, and he's helping him, but like he doesn't want Ethan to actually do anything good.
Yeah.
He's also just not a good person in general.
Yeah.
He will kill people if he has to, unlike Ethan. And just
Then the bathroom fight sequence is
bathroom fight was
crazy.
fucking
Like
awesome.
John Lark, actually the goat at fighting.
Yeah,
Like,
he
he was
just
kicking the shit out
actually
of
turned into
Ethan
the
and
Karate Kid
Walker.
real quick.
Yeah.
And just what the fuck is like the strength level of all these people? They're just throwing each other through walls and
Yeah.
shit. And that happened. Then you meet the White Widow, which is obviously a really
Yeah.
fun character.
Like they spent the movie before this one getting Lane, and now they have to get him back.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh, of course. Like that sucks so bad.
Yeah. They're like, all right, you have to get Lane. And they're like, all right, no, like any witness has to die. And then Ethan was like, all right. And then they just did the complete opposite thing, and
Yeah.
it still worked mostly. It was
Yeah.
awesome. Um, And then obviously Ilsa returns for this one, which is a lot of fun. And she's, like I said, she's probably a top 5 character in the franchise. She's so fun. And then all of it leading up to the reveal that uh, Alec Baldwin's character was in on like Henry Cavill like admitting to being a bad guy
Yes, yes.
because Benji was fake Lane, and
Yep.
that was awesome too. That was
Yeah.
probably a top 3 like head takeoff moments in the entire series. And then he gets away with Lane, and turns out they were scheming already, anyways, which all leads to um, Ethan's wife being reintroduced into the
Hey,
series.
welcome back. I guess she's the only tie-up we didn't get in Mission Impossible 8.
That's
We
true.
didn't get
I
any.
feel like it kind of wrapped up in that movie, though. It was kind
Yeah,
of
like
like
we didn't really, because she
it,
was already with someone else,
yeah, it
so
was
it
a
was like, oh,
soft
whatever.
goodbye. And just like the fact that Lane and Henry Cavill like planned to bomb like atomic bomb the wife's fucking like research facility,
Yeah.
like that's crazy in the first place. They're and Benji and Ilsa are like trying to undo the bomb with Luther and stuff, and he's
Yep.
chasing Henry Cavill in the helicopter.
Yeah. That was a crazy.
Such a fun sequence. It
Oh,
just for like it's just one of those things where like these movies are like 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes, and it just ended like that. It was like it just goes so fast and it's so fun. Like I love movies you don't have to think of like, oh, how much longer is this movie? And like I most of these movies I don't think that, honestly.
yeah.
I don't really think that way in most of them, but it's just like the way this one moves. Henry Cavill's character is great, and it's like I wish I watched these when they came out. It would be like so much more like, oh, are they actually gonna
Yeah.
do it or not? Because like obviously most movies you think Ethan Hunt's gonna win. I'm sure even at the time of going to the movies and stuff when it came out, but it was like I feel like 6 is the one where it's like this one he could have fucked it up. He had to press the button and he pressed it with like literally half a second left or something, and
Yeah.
it's so good. Yeah, it's genuinely one of the best like action thrillers I've ever seen before. It's so much fun. So yeah, I was curious. I had a feeling we were gonna have 2 at the bottom for sure.
Yep.
That one just felt so
It's so out
not
of place.
connected. Yeah, yeah, but yeah. That's our Mission Impossible ranking. Um, Let us know what your favorite Mission Impossible is. Go check out Final Reckoning if you haven't already. I don't know why you watch this if you haven't, to be
Yeah.
honest. But um, this is this is your calling to go watch those movies. Go do
Do
it.
it.
I
It's
am
great.
very happy we watched all those. It was well worth the time. So but yeah, that's I don't really have anything else to say. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.